Hello, friend. It's Laura. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a traditional scrapbooking layout that uses up lots of sequins. I absolutely love this idea of taking something I have a lot of in my stash and trying to use as much of that product as I can in a layout or a project or throughout the month. And so I've been doing that a lot over the past few years. I've recently shared a video where I used up a ton of floral die cuts and stickers in a layout, and today I'm going to be tackling sequins. So I've got this gorgeous cut file here. I want to say it's from Just Nick Cut Files, but I'm not sure, to be honest. There's a few spots where I love to get cut files, but I don't shop for cut files very frequently, maybe like once every 2 years, because I don't actually own a cutting machine. I just borrow my friends occasionally. So this is one I had picked up a couple of years ago, or like a year and a half ago. I really love it. I think it's so cute. It's this gorgeous rainbow with some clouds. And so I got that cut file, put it down onto my page along with the clouds and some photographs to see where I would like it positioned. And then once I figure out positioning, I trace the cut file onto my page, and that's going to serve as a guide for where I'm going to glue all of my sequins. I really wanted to glue these straight to the base of this scrapbooking page because I figured that would give it the most structural integrity, as opposed to trying to glue them onto like a tiny piece of paper that I would back the cut file with. This just seemed a lot sturdier and a lot more practical of a decision. So I get started with that, and I choose a couple of different sequins and sparkly things from my stash. The first thing that I had was like a rhinestone fabric thing, and they look like sequins, but I think they're actually rhinestones. And so I just cut that apart off of its mesh backing and used double-sided tape. I'm using my Tombow Mono Adhesive Permanent, and I really love that tape. It can be a little finicky sometimes when you're using it. The tape doesn't always go exactly where you want it to go, which it can be frustrating. But for the most part, it's my favorite tape that I have found for scrapbooking so far in my many years of scrapbooking. So despite the few inconveniences when using it, I still choose that one over every other brand that I've ever tried. And as you can see, the stick of that tape is just, it really holds up here. You can see how well it's holding all of these sequins and rhinestones. I do one of my rainbow layers in that silver rhinestone. On the middle layer of the rainbow, I do multicolor pink sequins in various sizes. Some of them are opaque, some of them are translucent, and I think they just add such gorgeous texture that way, like variation, to have the different colors in there or the different tones of the same color. And then I did the top one in an iridescent sequin. It's like a pinkish white iridescent that changes colors when you move it. And I added a few silver ones throughout that rainbow stripe. I thought that would be a good way to bring in some silver up to the top. And again, when adding that color variation, I just think it adds so much depth and interest to that. So as you can see, I used up hundreds of sequins doing this, and it did take quite a while, but it was really easy. It's like one of those mundane things you could totally do when watching TV, zoning out, listening to a podcast. You don't even really have to be paying much attention to your page to just glue down hundreds of sequins in this manner. So I really liked how this turned out, this little rainbow. I am taking the cut file and doing a double-sided foam backing to it. That way it'll pop up off of my page and really frame those sequins. Obviously, because sequins have texture and dimension to them, I could not glue that cut file straight to my scrapbooking page because the sequins were pushing the cut file too far up. So that double-sided foam was the perfect thing to mount that cut file to and get that onto the page. I really like how that looks, and now I'm just playing around with all of my different cloud die cuts. I want to add lots of layers underneath of the rainbow and really make that look fluffy and soft like clouds would look. And I think layering them up really gives that effect. Some of them are glued directly onto the page, some of them are double-sided taped, and then some of them are up on the double-sided foam mounting. And that just gives it so much depth. Again, I'm using all these words repetitively, but I think this page really does offer a lot of that. And if you've watched any of my process videos lately, my scrapbooking process videos on my channel, you'll notice that the trend I've been sharing lately has been a little bit maximalist, which is very different than my traditional minimalist style of scrapbooking. I've really been going all out, trying to use all the embellishments on my pages the last couple of years, scrapping my stash. And I really love how it looks. I think this is so fun and colorful and uses up lots of stuff from my stash, which is great. I've also got a bunch of photographs here from a New Year's Eve party that we had. This is so wild. This was ringing in the year 2020. And so pre-COVID, January 1st of 2020 was pre-COVID. And little did we know this year would be the year that things really went for a whirl. Things changed quite a bit. But we started off the year with a small New Year's Eve party with our friends and family, and it was so cute. I loved this. We did a balloon arch up the stair railing in our house, and I had my friend take some pictures of me that went along with my one little word for 2020, which was glow. And you can see I definitely had I had that glow word on lockdown, like really emanated that through the photographs with all the metallics and the shiny and the glowing and the big smiles. There was just a lot of good energy on that night and starting off that year. So I'm adding lots of phrases all around the page now. I've got phrase die cuts and phrase stickers. You can also see where I've played around with various title ideas on top of my rainbow, and I end up just doing my name here. And the sheet that I'm working off of where I have those various thickers or alphabet stickers and the washi tape on, that's just a like scrap my stash sheet that I use to hold stuff. I used to do Happy Mail a lot, and if I had Happy Mail that I really, really enjoyed, but it didn't make it into my Happy Mail album, I have like one album where I was keeping my Happy Mail stuff. Any other Happy Mail that couldn't fit in there, but I really liked it, I would take apart the pieces that I wanted to reuse and put them in my stash. So that title that says my name actually came from a Happy Mail that I got years and years ago. And then all this stuff from my stash, that gorgeous Felicity Jane paper as the background, and then some different stickers from Hobby Lobby throughout the page, some die cuts, and one puffy sticker. Really cute. Mostly, though, it's the photographs and that die cut backed with sequins that do most of the talking on this page, I think. And I really like how that looks. I think it's so simple and fun and girly and pastel-y and glowy, which is so appropriate given my word. I'm now going around the page with a pen to add a doodle border around the edge of the paper. And then I decided that my clouds still weren't, they weren't popping enough. Like they were just kind of blending all in together. You really couldn't tell that they were layered up in a nice way. So then I go ahead and I add doodle borders to some of my clouds there too, just to give it more dimension and to really make the various layers and depths of those clouds more obvious. And then the last thing that I end up doing is adding a few pink die cuts around the page. I think these light pink die cuts, I want to say they're acetate, but I think they're actually cardstock. But you can see how those look very cute. I also added a few enamel dots from my stash. And this is how the page turns out. I love this page. It's very busy. 5 photographs on one page. All the photographs are really small. They're printed in that Instax size, but I actually just had like a template that I created and I printed them off on my 8.5 by 11 paper and my photo printer. It's such a fun page. I hope you've enjoyed this New Year's Eve page and I hope it sparked some creativity for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see all the fun projects that I create and share. I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching this scrapbooking layout process video with me. Bye.